Good morning, all you fine people out there. I'm Wayne, and I'm still an alcoholic. This is one sober to another. And if you enjoy what you see here on this channel, hit that like button and perhaps take a chance to subscribe so you don't miss out on anything of the daily reflections and any of the videos and journey with me that have something to do with sharing my experience, strength, and hope for you guys out there if you are seeking recovery or sobriety, whichever your situation might be, or if you're suffering at this moment and you might be able to benefit from some of my experience, strength, and hope. Today's daily reflection is a little bit special because it explains how my turmoil and my trauma and my past history, my drunken history and all that stuff shaped me to who I am now and my success story of sharing this sobriety with you. That is the reason why it's amazing. And if you stay tuned, you're going to hear a little bit that might pique your interest and perhaps give you a little bit of hope. Today's daily reflection for 26 February 2021. No ordinary success story. Let's go. All right, folks, here we are. Put your reading ears on because this is about to get good. AA is no success story in the ordinary sense of the word. It is a story of suffering transmuted under grace into spiritual progress. As Bill sees it, page 35. Upon entering AA, I listened to others talk about the reality of their drinking, loneliness, terror, and pain. As I listened further, I soon heard a description of a very different kind. The reality of sobriety. It is a reality of freedom and happiness, of purpose and direction and serenity, of peace with God, ourselves, and others. By attending meetings, I am reintroduced to the reality over and over. I see it in the eyes and hear it in the voices of those around me. By working the program, I find the direction and strength with which to make it mine. The joy of AA is that this new reality is available to me. So, I was abused as a child, emotionally and sometimes physically. I had a drunken history that cost me 23 plus years of my life. I borrowed, stole, and begged for money. I drank to no end, and I destroyed a bunch of lives in the process. That is, in a nutshell, what it was for me. Now, what drove that? I was lonely. I was homeless at one point. I was very insecure. I didn't believe a lot in myself. I thought that I was worthless, and I was always in fear. Through the program, and you might not be an Alcoholics Anonymous member and you might not believe in God. That's okay, folks. For me, when I found a higher power and when I found a purpose, I found that there is no ordinary success story. We all have our own path to get there, and we've talked about this in previous videos. What I found in sobriety, as well as listening to those around me, is that through a belief in a power greater than myself, and this might not be your thing yet, but it might click eventually. Through the belief in my higher power, I have been able to find serenity, peace of mind, and I've been able to enjoy happiness, freedom from fear, and freedom from the obsession of alcohol. 23 plus years, man. That's a lot of decade to be drinking as much as my disease took me. Your story is a lot different, and that's where the comment section comes in valuable for other people. If you drop your comments below, someone is going to be able to benefit from what you have experienced and or just relate to it to a point where they feel that they're not alone. That's the value of this channel. That's the value of sobriety in itself, as well as the recovery community that is available for everybody out there via YouTube, via Alcoholics Anonymous meetings, Narcotics Anonymous meetings. There are things that can suit the needs of any alcoholic or addict in order to achieve sobriety and to thrive in recovery while living as an addict in recovery or an alcoholic in recovery. There is no cure for this disease, folks. However, the way that we feel about these things can change. For me, you know, when I felt so lonely and so isolated that I was nothing, that took a toll on me, and that drove me further and further into the bottle, and that bottle never had an end. It never had an end, and it never had a means, and that was the reality of my addiction. That was the reality of my alcoholism, and it never brought me peace and joy. As a matter of fact, it did quite the opposite. It brought me a lot more drama and a lot more trauma, and like I said, I destroyed a bunch of lives, and it has taken a lot of living amends in order to rebuild those relationships. As for today's daily reflection, if you've made it this far in the video, you might be a person that I've sat next to at an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting, or you might be somebody that I ran into, you know, just out in the normal society, where your story is similar to mine, but your path is a little bit different, as we've described here on One Sober to Another a few times. I know a lot of folks who suffer from addiction and who suffer from alcoholism and think that it's not possible in order to change their lives. If you out there are one of those people and you take the opportunity to listen to somebody else and how they have evolved and progressed within their recovery, you might be able to pick up a little something from their stories and perhaps be able to build your own way. The spiritual growth and spiritual progress in which I've enjoyed has allowed me just to be happy and to be able to enjoy the moment for what it is right now. If you've gotten any value out of this video, hit that like button so we can keep this video in circulation. I will say that, you know, I've been a little busy lately, and I have definitely not dedicated the time that is necessary in order to reach out to a couple folks out there who definitely deserve it. And I haven't forgotten about you folks. But like I said, it's been a little bit busy. I've been learning, you know, this new job and everything else, which is awesome, by the way. And I have no regrets about doing it. It's a little demanding, but it's nothing I can't handle. I could handle being a soldier. I could handle, you know, all those multitaskings and everything else. And I could lead soldiers in combat, which was an A+ for me, because, you know, I had to be sober in order to do it. I was living as a dry drunk, but I was still sober. Anyway, that's been today's daily reflection. That's food for thought. I hope you didn't get lost in that. I think I did a little bit, but that's okay. I'm an alcoholic, and that's what happens sometimes. I get a little lost in my mind. Life's a garden. Dig it, folks. Guess what? I'm going to see you in the next one. Have a great day. Bye-bye.